I am curious if there's anything coming from any one of my friends that has passed.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what happens. Okay. So the way that this is coming through is basically, I feel like I have to highlight this man. And the way that I would describe this, if I'm kind of connecting with this guy, it feels like this person was very young. It's interesting when he comes through, he's showing me weirdly a monkey on someone's back, which usually indicates having an issue, something that you can't let go of. Man. They're showing me an IV, and that always indicates like something we would put into our bodies. But I feel like I am under the influence of some form of a substance. But then the weird thing is this person didn't necessarily take more than they were used to. There's something weird because I feel like before there had been this period where they hadn't abused drugs and their tolerance went down. And there's this feeling of, well, this old amount I would have been fine with, but my body's tolerance went down in some capacity. So there's an acknowledgement of this. There's more to this. He is bringing up a female contemporary. Do you know if he had a sister or a girlfriend?
Sister.
Sister. He just keeps bringing up the message towards his sister, basically like the ambiguity thing.
Yeah.
Like she really needs to know that he did not mean to kill himself. Like this was not intentional in the way that it feels. In the months leading up to his passing, I just feel like someone from his past may have kind of either triggered him or put him in some form of a headspace where doing this now would feel like a good idea. Someone just kind of was like, hey, wanna go do this? And then he couldn't not. It's like this person shouldn't have been, that influence shouldn't have been in any way there to trigger me almost. And it kind of comes through.
Yeah.
So that's very much for sister in this way.
Yeah.
Does that make some sense?
100%. My friend Kevin, he lived a couple blocks away from me growing up, and we lost touch. And then I randomly saw him at a recovery meeting, and he was like fresh out of jail and had 60 days of sobriety, and we just kind of picked up a new relationship. We were kids growing up, but him carrying like the monkey on his back, he had very intense anxiety, and it often led him back to relapse.
The horrible thing about this is that it feels like he keeps having me talk about, it doesn't make any sense, going out on a high note. As odd as it sounds, he's showing me music and he's showing me an arrow, which always references to the future. He's not done, he says. It could mean that what he wasn't able to achieve here, he feels like he'll see some follow through that other people will do in his honor or in his legacy. If they helped create something, then we release the song. It's that kind of thing of like, my name's gonna be attached to it even though I'm not physically here. And by launching this, it honors me. So I know it's a lot to take in, but does any of that make sense? Is there anything that you have yet to release since he's passed? I need you to know that he feels like doing this, he's gonna be able to get the notoriety he wanted and the fame he wanted. Has that been on the plan?
No, but it makes sense.
Good.
Right before he died, that night before, they were in the studio. Like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna make an album, we're gonna celebrate, we're gonna make this. And the last song that they made was like this super positive, like, we're gonna, like, get gonna do this.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a rapper. I was like, if you can get a week sober, you can come to the studio and record. And he got a week, and we went to the studio and he recorded 4 songs, and he was just super pumped. It was like this celebratory moment. We're driving home. I dropped him off at his crib, and I got a phone call from his sister the next day. He had, as you said, his tolerance was at a certain point. He had got 7 days sober, so his tolerance went to another point. I think that he took the same amount of drugs that he normally would take, and he overdosed. And he did struggle with suicidal thoughts, but I do believe that it was completely a tolerance thing, like you said, and it wasn't anything intentional. So all of that was spot on.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he came through.
Yeah. Yeah, and just hearing like that he wanted that music to come out or wanted to be, it was very much like him.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
It's like I have a song named after him,
Wow.
but I can just see him being like, man, you better put out my music.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah. Kevin was family to me. I very much felt like that was my little brother and someone that I wanted to see win so bad because you see so much potential, and he just happened to have a disease that wants to kill him. And I share that same disease. You know, you feel it when someone relapses. You feel that pain because I've relapsed. I know what that feels like. It was and is very, very hard. But it wasn't intentional. I think that that's an important message, not only for me to hear, but for Kevin's family to hear. He didn't pick up that drug that night thinking that that was gonna be the thing that killed him. All of that was like extremely specific. No Googling could have been done to get any of that information whatsoever.